Hi, and welcome to Astro Bites for Saturday, the 14th of September 2024. Did you survive Friday the 13th? Well, I hope I did, because of course I pre-record these and I'm pre-recording on the 11th. I hope I've survived, and I hope that I upload this video and I'm able to actually record more. So anyway, enough of me wittering. Remember, there's a word for the week, the end of the week on psychology and knowing thyself well. And again, it's a very big topic, so I'm only going to touch the tip of the iceberg. And once again, if you would like me with this particular word to do a deeper dive and look at it in connection with the astrological energies and transits, then that's something we can do further on down the line. But for today, let's look at what's happening on astrologically. So basically today, again, I could talk about the chart for half an hour, but the energies are pretty much what they've been through the sort of the early part and the middle of the week. It's been quite a there's been energy going on that has been challenging and difficult, but it's almost as if we're so used to now being in this kind of state of energy where we just never know what's going to happen next, that we look up from our phone or our tablet and we go, oh, what, that happened? Oh, well, okay, never mind. And we scroll again. And, you know, there's a kind of desensitization that comes from too much overload of, of information and news. I'm having hiccups. And so let me tell you about what's happening with the event chart. The moon today has moved into Aquarius. And actually, the energy, of course, is building up towards next week's full, partial lunar eclipse in the sign of Pisces. I am doing a separate video about the full moon partial lunar eclipse in Pisces, and it's on the 18th of Wednesday, and I'm hoping I haven't recorded it yet. It will be up hopefully by Monday, so a little bit late, but it will be up there. But anyway, so the moon is at the very beginning of Aquarius, which means it's conjunct Pluto. So we start the day with this moon conjunct Pluto. Now, why this energy is that more powerful is because the moon and Pluto meet a lot. You know, every month the moon will come up and be conjunct Pluto, wherever it is going round. But remember, Pluto moves incredibly slowly. And the moon only takes 28 days to go round the 12 zodiac signs. But the moon is at the 0 degree of Aquarius. So this is a very powerful trigger point. And Pluto retrograde is at the 29th degree of Capricorn, another trigger point. So the moon and Pluto together are a very powerful combination that sets the scene for the weekend. They are in the 4th house of the event chart. The 4th house, remember, is about home, family. It's about creating a nice, nurturing atmosphere at home. Maybe you will feel like doing a little bit of transforming of your environment and tidying things up today, because with the sun still in Virgo, and, you know, the sun is going to trine the moon by tomorrow morning. So it will be bringing out positive energy for detailed kind of clearing out of cupboards and things, and looking at things in the minute kind of detailed way that we have to do sometimes. But what else is going on? Because there is a very much an element this weekend of relationships being under focus or in the focus, and also of a sense of things being kept quiet or hidden, or within a relationship situation feeling a bit restricted and feeling you just want to break out or travel or go and see someone that, someone that lives at a distance. You've had enough of being stuck within the four walls of your home. So it may be with your other half, you want to just go off somewhere, but you may actually want to do that on your own. You may need some alone time this weekend. We all need that at times. However positive and good a relationship is, it does relationships a lot of good to have a bit of space at times. You see, it's interesting because Jupiter is, of course, about travel. It can be travel of the mind. It's in Gemini, so it can be, imagination, thinking of all the kind of different places one could travel to. And sometimes we do need to do a little bit of armchair tourism and just allow ourselves to sit back and dream. And it's interesting because the sun will be coming up soon to be in opposition to Neptune, that of course is retrograde in Pisces. And in fact, what the sun is doing from Virgo is preparing itself to be in its position to oppose the moon once it moves into Pisces to conjunct Neptune for the full partial lunar eclipse in Pisces on Wednesday. It's a big deal when we get these eclipses, and I'm going to talk about it more on Wednesday when I do the Astrobite for Wednesday, but also in tomorrow's live for the week ahead. I will, of course, look a little bit at what this full moon is going to be about. Today, though, the moon is actually sextiling Neptune. So it brings a kind of rather wistful, dreamy energy into the equation. And I think there is a sense of just needing a little bit of time out this weekend. The sun, of course, is still, it's moving away, but it's still squaring Jupiter. And Jupiter, of course, is still squaring Saturn. And that is putting the brakes on, kind of getting Jupiter to see common sense about ideas and plans that one has that could be, in a sense, knee-jerk decisions. So this could be to do with significant relationships. There's healing that needs to happen in certain relationships. Chiron retrograde is on the descendant of this chart. And Venus is coming up to oppose Chiron. So that will be quite an important transit when we get there. So the start of the weekend is positive, although I think entertainment is going to be slightly subdued, and there may be a tendency to, I was going to say drink alone, or, what I would like to say is don't. At least have a FaceTime with a friend or something if you are on your own, so that you're not actually having that glass of wine completely alone, just watching Netflix. And so there's a sense of that, but there is a part of fortune in astrology, which is what is known as one of the Arabic parts, which is all about good fortune. it's in Pisces today. And it's actually in the 5th house of fun, creativity, and entertainment. So there's something here about, even though the entertainment might be a bit subdued for you, that actually, you know what? There could be some lucky meetings that take place. They might be over the internet because the moon is in Aquarius, or they may be face to face. But I think some of the energy around is actually quite fortunate this weekend. Subdued, but fortunate. A kind of glimpse of what's to come in the future, a little bit further on down the path. Now I'm going to move swiftly on to our final word for the week. And I thought this would really, really get a lot of people going. And as I said, it's a phrase that has been termed in more recent years, and it wasn't around when I was young, but I'll tell you what it is. It's gaslighting. And it comes, of course, from the 1944 film called Gaslight, where a husband manipulates his wife into questioning her sanity by altering her environment and denying that these changes have occurred. It's a very manipulative psychological way of behaving, and a lot of people do it unconsciously. And that is the problem. So that if someone is, it usually comes hand in hand with narcissism. So you have a narcissistic person who is manipulating their partner and making the partner doubt their own perceptions or memory or reality. So what are the key words? There's a denial of reality, twisting information, undermining confidence, so that the victim starts to question their own judgment and thinks, oh, maybe I did do that or did say that. And what it does is it empowers the gaslighter to have and exert control over the person they are gaslighting. So someone who gaslights might say, oh, you're too sensitive, you're overreacting. And they will actually tell you that as you recount an event that's happened or a discussion that the two of you have had, it wasn't like that. I didn't say that. I don't know what you're thinking, but that was not how it went. And when somebody repeatedly denies doing or saying something, it can leave you questioning your own sanity and memory of situations. So it is incredibly damaging emotionally. It causes huge anxiety, one of our words from this week, depression, loss of self-confidence, confusion, terrible confusion, self-doubt. And it normally occurs in abusive relationships because it enables the abuser to gain control over the victim. But recognizing that someone may be using this tactic with you is the first step towards getting away from the person that has you under this kind of control. And usually one needs help in the sense one needs counseling, therapy, coaching to define and set boundaries. For the therapist to validate you and what you know to be true. To regain your sense of self and your sense of what is real. So, as you see, quite a complex topic. I'm absolutely happy to go into this in more detail if any of you feel it would be useful or helpful. Sometimes we know somebody, even if we're not experiencing it, who is at the receiving end of this. And it can be very painful and difficult because there's so much control that is exerted. And it's just, well, it is incredibly sad. And so I know we're ending this week of psychology on a rather challenging, difficult word, but I really do hope they have in some way given you food for thought, given you a chance to reflect on your own lives, your own situations, your relationships, even if it's to do with the past, and to just, the most important thing is I want to empower you through astrology and through my knowledge of psychology to be better people and to know yourselves better. So that if you understand the psychological aspects of astrology, right, which if you have a session with me, I will really look at in detail to help you make sense of why you perhaps behave in certain ways or others do around you. It empowers you. It gives you some sense of control. So, a tough week, eh? But don't worry, tomorrow's another day. There'll be a word for the week. There'll be a word for the day. Not quite sure what it is yet. Drop some words in the comments and it might be one of those. And please remember to like, comment and subscribe. And I really look forward to seeing you tomorrow with yet another Astro Bite. Bye for now.